Sneezing. Morning everybody. So I pressed the live button and I'm about to start sneezing. So bear with me. Don't laugh, Elspeth. Elspeth's here again this morning. So I'm hoping you are joining me for day 3 of my crochet live videos. I can see you hopping on. Hi, Wendy. Do give me a little hi in the comments if you're there. I'm doing this from my new phone. I treated myself yesterday to a new Samsung. And I'm hoping it's going to give you crystal clear video and my lives are going to work really, really well. So I'm just going to try something quickly. I've got my computer here now. Technically, here we go, I can see myself now on the computer. I can follow the comments on there and record on here, and it also means that I can share the video into a group and people know that I am talking. So bear with me 1 second and then I will get started. All go this morning. There we go. Okay, so that's sharing through. So who else is there? I can see you all popping up at the top there, the little eye telling me how many people are watching. Just put a little hello in the comments, let me know you're there. It's always handy to know who's watching so that I can obviously tailor the conversation a bit more towards you. Hi Kirsty, good morning. Okie dokie, so I'm going to have to be a bit snotty today. I do apologise, it's very hay fevery, I'm very sneezy, very full of dust, and generally just in a mess, but that's me, isn't it? So, when I asked you all in my Facebook group last week who makes their time to do their courses, hi Chloe, and who is sitting on a course and waiting to get started, I got some really great feedback from you. My favourite comment, I'm going to name and shame here, so sorry if you're watching, but my favourite comment was from Claire Hobbs, and she said, I'm guilty of purchasing a virtual course, but I've yet to start. The reason is I feel I can't start till my house is sorted. How can I sit and do something fun and for me when I've got a pile of washing, etc. to do, and with a house full of kids, it's a never-ending cycle. Well, I know that feeling all too well, and I'm sure lots of you do. I used to find it really, really hard to sit down for a spot of me time when there was things all around me that needed doing. My washing would call me from the laundry basket. The kids' toys would be scattered all over the floor. At the end of the day, there was always bills to pay, appointments to book, errands to run, and just dinners to cook, and generally, excuse my language, shit to do. Okay? It's a problem all of us struggle with. I'm sure quite a lot of you can resonate with that. It's a natural thing that you want to be productive at the end of the day. And so when you just sit on your bottom, either doing nothing or doing something for you, the guilt's set in and you start to feel bad about it. So I've written a few notes down so I don't forget what I want to tell you, because I've got a couple of top tips and tricks for getting over the guilt. So there's 2 things that you can do. They are, of course, going to be dependent on how clever you are at tricking your mind into thinking that you're being productive. As to which one is going to work for you most. I'm going to talk to you about these options in terms of sitting down and doing crochet, because that's what these talks are all about. But there's nothing to say that you can't transfer these techniques into doing anything that you want to do, any kind of me time, basically. So my first one, and this is my absolute top tip, is to set a goal. So aim to make something by a set date. It's really, really great, for instance, if you've got a friend who's got a baby due by, say, January, or you've got a family member who specifically wants something made for them for their birthday, which is in sort of 4 or 5 months' time or something like that. Obviously, you can aim to make that something by that dedicated date. So that way, whenever you sit down to do your course, you can tell yourself that it's a means to an end. You're learning with a purpose. You'll have a goal to meet at the end of that time, and you'll have a very lucky and very happy friend or family member with their finished article. And that means you are always safe in the knowledge that not only are you learning to crochet, but you're also making something special for someone else, and it will lose those guilts for you. So basically each time the guilt creeps in and you hear the washing calling you from the basket while you're sitting down doing your crochet, you just got to tell it to be quiet and that, no, I'm not going to come and do you. I'm busy. I'm working towards my goal. I'm not going to feel guilty for sitting down and doing my crochet. So it's a way of tricking your brain into allowing you to take that time for you to do something for you, but that indirectly is for someone else. And that's how I get over attacks of the guilt. So what I want to do was come across some other ways to help you. So I actually went online last night and was searching for some top tips on ditching the guilts, and I came across a method called timer counts. Now it's very similar to something that I actually do with Elspeth. We do something called time blocking, where we take our diaries and we block it out into half-an-hour sections, and we literally fill every single section in with things that we have to do for the day, and you get loads done. But I'm going to explain it to you in a bit more detail. Hi, Karen. Karen says, does that work with my university books when they're calling me? Absolutely, Karen. It works for anything. Get rid of the guilt. You've just got to say to those uni books, no, I'll come back to you later. You're another goal for another day. Today I'm working on this goal, and that's what I'm going to do. Oh, Elspeth's putting her hand up. Hang on a minute. We've got live interaction on my Facebook. What can I do for you, Elspeth?
And if she takes 5 minutes out, 10 minutes out, half an hour out, she'll come back to her university books with a much clearer head, and she'll learn much quicker, and that's from the voice of experience. Okay,
I don't know if you heard that, Karen. I'll say it again. Elspeth is an ex-teacher and has done lots and lots of university study and still does it just for fun. And she says if you take that 5, 10, 15 minutes out of your day to do something for you and walk away from the books, when you come back to the books, your head will be much clearer, in a much better place, and you will actually learn more and you will learn quicker. And that comes from the voice of experience. So there you go. You heard it here first. Okie dokie. So I'll go back to my second trick. So it's a method called timer counts. Apparently it's a trick that's used in the finance world. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to read this bit of info. I found it on an article last night on a website called The Fast Company, and it was really quite interesting. So this is what it says. So, budgeting experts often tell people to label separate savings accounts with their goals. So you've got a retirement fund or a course fund. Maybe you've got a Christmas fund or a vacation fund. Ideally, all of these things are funded automatically. But what it does, by creating adequate categories, it reminds your brain that you're making progress towards all of your priorities, and it stops you from feeling guilty about putting sort of £100 here towards your holiday, even though there are things that you could be doing with that money rather than putting it towards a holiday. So it then says, likewise, what you can do is create a mental time budget for leisure, so doing the things that you like, or in our case, crochet. So you might have a woman who has an underused backyard and she gets annoyed because she wants to go and spend time in her garden, but she's got other things to do. So if she allotted herself 15 minutes 4 times a week to just go outside and enjoy the space, it's a mere hour out of the 168 hours that she has all week. If she also created time budgets for all of her other priorities, she'd know that these would get done too and that she wouldn't feel guilty. She could even treat the 15 minutes as an assignment with a chart on the wall that she needed to check off had she done her 15 minutes of her backyard downtime. So you could do that with crochet. Once it becomes an assignment, it's out of the realm of guilt and more into the realm of duty. So again, goes back to what I was saying earlier about doing something for you, but giving it a purpose so that you don't feel guilty about it. So, it might sound a little funny turning your leisure into something that you judge yourself on, but here's the thing. Once you start learning to relax and enjoy yourself, it's awfully addictive. When you start reveling in your downtime, the spillover benefits for the rest of your life will be so large that eventually the guilt will be a dim memory. It just takes a little while to get there. Giving yourself a leisure time budget helps nudge the process along. I really like that. I really like the article. It was really, really interesting, and it certainly works for me. I do find I do have to trick my brain into allowing me that time for me. So I'm just going to go through some of the other messages that are on here quickly before they scroll up and disappear. Karen says, thank you, Elspeth. Wendy said, Elspeth is so right. It worked very well for me as a mature student. Karen says, thank you, Wendy. I'm a mature student too. And Helen's just popped on to watch. Hi, Helen. How are you? Okay, so that was the article that I found on the website. So I found that really, really useful. It is really, really true, though. About a year ago now, I made a decision that at 10 o'clock every night, I would stop working on whatever it was I was doing, be that my business or my personal life, housework or whatever. I would sit down, I would pick up my knitting or my crochet, and I'd spend at least half an hour relaxing. I do find it really, really helps me to wind down from the end of the day. And actually, I go to bed, I sleep better, and I wake up feeling a lot more refreshed. And I usually find that if there was anything that I hadn't finished at the end of the day, when I get up in the morning, I can just plough through those jobs really, really quickly and then crack on with the rest of my day. So it is really, really beneficial, not just mentally but also physically, to actually allow yourself to have that time every single day. So there was a couple of ways that you can be sure to make sure that you actually spend the time to do your course, crack on with your online crochet course or crack on with whatever project you're working on. But I have got one last thing to tell you about. So a few of you were finding it really, really hard to make the time to actually start your courses. You'd bought your kits, you'd bought your courses, but you hadn't actually got round to starting them. Now, I understand that that can be hard. I know that you're all confident that once you do get started, you'll be flying and you'll be well away. You won't be able to put it down and you'll be hooked, if you'll pardon the pun. But sometimes it is really, really hard to just pin yourself down to that time to do what you need to do. I normally find that's where I'll actually put it in my diary. So I'll put a slot in my diary to say, today I will do X, Y, and Z. And I do tend to find it gets done. But I know that that is much, much easier said than done. So what I've done is I have put on a special one-off day here at Beautiful Things HQ. For any of you who are fairly local and feel that you need a dedicated date and time to get started, but also want to know that you've got all the support on hand that you could possibly need all in one place. So I'm going to read this directly off my website. This actually went live at midnight last night, so some of you who are clever might have actually snuck on and seen this already, but I needed to wait until today because I knew I was going to mention it to you. So I'm going to read this for you. So the in-person semi-virtual crochet session. So you've bought a semi-virtual crochet course or kit, you haven't started it, or maybe you're still not 100% sure that you can cope with doing things online. Hopefully by now you'll have watched some of my Facebook Live series around the course. That's my phone. Elspeth, would you mind just hanging up on it? It's under the ironing board. I've plugged in my old phone. I haven't ported my number across. Anyway, as I was going, hopefully by now you've been watching some of my Facebook Live series around the courses, the ones from the last 2 days where I outline their benefits, why it's 100% better than any other method of learning to crochet. But despite the amazing professionally filmed video tutorials, the great printed instructions and support forums, you're still nervous because you won't have me on hand to help you when the worst happens, which it won't, but we won't go there. Okay, I've given in. For one day only, Claire is opening the doors to her studio for 10 lucky pupils for 5 hours. All you have to do is bring along your kit, so you can purchase any of our semi-virtual courses, or you might already have them, which is fine. Bring along an electrical device that can access the internet, so a laptop or a tablet, something like that, a pair of headphones and a packed lunch. You can plug in, you can dedicate the whole 5 hours to working on your course, knowing that you've got me on hand in the studio to help you if you simply don't get it. Obviously, I'm going to spend most of the day making you tea and coffee because you're not going to need my help, but I am there if you need me. You can just holler and I'll come over and give you a helping hand. So the day takes place on Sunday, the 10th of September, from 10 o'clock until 3 o'clock, and it's bookable in advance. The day at the moment is available on an extra special early bird rate of only £30. but that rate only stays until 10 o'clock on Monday the 14th of August. That's 10 p.m. After this time, if there's spaces still available, which I'm probably pretty confident there won't be, but if there are still spaces available, the price is increasing. So there is an early bird to get in there nice and early. So you need to book your slot online. I will post a link to that blog that I've just read out to you in the comments in a moment, so you can go and have a read and click through to book your space if you want to come along. If you've got any questions, feel free to ask them below and I will answer it for you. It's perfect for anybody who's already got a kit but hasn't got started. Or if you just want to, maybe you have started, but you've put it to one side and haven't worked on it for a while and you need a bit of a kickstart to boost you back into it. If you haven't got a kit yet and you want one, sign up, buy one on the website, semivirtualcourses.com. Pop a note in the notes to say that you're booking a space on the in-person day, and I can leave it here for you so it's ready for you to pick up and it won't risk getting lost in the post on its way to you just for you to bring it back here, which seems a little bit silly. So I hope you found that really enjoyable. The other thing to mention is we have also put sign-ups out now for our online crochet club, which is going to be a really great place to come and hang out. We're going to have free tutorials. I'm going to do live Q&As. I'm going to do free patterns. I'm going to do a monthly video tutorial that will cover any of your queries or problems. So if you've got something you're stuck on, you can ask me and I will video a tutorial specifically about that and put it on there for you. There's going to be loads of chatter, loads of fun, loads of competitions with prizes, and generally we're just going to build a really nice online community where we all get to know each other and all crochet together. There's going to be challenges and all sorts of things. It's going to be a monthly sign-up club, but at the moment I'm offering the first 5 months membership for just £30. Okay, so you get your first 5 months for just £30. When that 5 months is up, then you'll be given the opportunity to come on board on a monthly basis should you so wish. The spaces are limited for that. I launched it 2 days ago and my spaces are now half full already, so there are only a few spaces left. So if you'd like to join the crochet club, then send me a message and I will send you some more details. But thank you very much for watching. I look forward to seeing you all posting on Facebook about the lovely time that you are spending on yourselves doing something for you, whether that be crochet or something else. Just remember to use the hashtag #MeTimeMoments and tag me in. I'll see you later. Bye bye.